A rising company is calling Williamstown, West Virginia its new home for its third location. PowerFlo Solutions purchased the 240,000 square foot Hino facility Thursday, July 7th. With this new company, it will create at least 120 full-time jobs in the Mid-Ohio Valley. In addition to this property, PowerFlo will also acquire an 11-acre parcel next to the building to expand its facility. Having PowerFlo in West Virginia will put the state in the front of one of the fastest growing industries.
We build everything from the transformers, actual transformers themselves, and we build them all the way up to put them on skids and pods to the data center. So we do everything from the beginning to the end except for the electronics. Everything else we build.
Buzik says in a year from now, the whole facility will be full of people and equipment.